Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Caroline is reading the newspaper at her table. And suddenly, she has a vision of fire burning at a house. And as the vision ends, with one of her mates named Denise came to where she is. And she saw, Caroline, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. No, you're not. You look like you're a million miles away. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Ridge Manor in Bradley's office, Howard's working on paperwork. Till Roxanne came in, and Howard looked up and saw her. Roxanne, do come in. And as Roxanne closed the door, and turned and faced Howard and went to where he is, just as Howard got up. What can I do for you? Ted told me you'll be working here, RB. So, it's about my baby. You mean Zach Graham, right? I don't think I'm ever gonna be over the fact of saying goodbye, and truthfully, I never was. Meanwhile, in Paris, France, at the Good Charm International Hotel in Karen and Bradley's suite room, Bradley got the door, and it's his elder son, Vince. Vince, I thought you went home, Isabella. I am. Is Mom here? No, she went out. Come in. And as Vince came in, and as Bradley closed the door, and turned and faced his son, and as he turned and faced his dad. So, what do you want to talk about? It's my sister. You're gonna have to be a lot more specific, Lucy. Meanwhile, in Ryan and Hannah's room, Ryan's continued packing his stuff. Till someone knocked on his door. And as he stopped and headed to the door, and arrived and got it, and it's his brother Steve. Steve, I hope this isn't a bad time. Wrong. Come in. And as Steve came in, and as Ryan closed the door, and turned and faced Steve, and as he turned and faced his brother. I don't know what to do, man. I mean, most of my kids are probably found out about their brother, which is one of the reasons why my wife and I are having a ceremony at Dryden Park. If there's anything you need from my wife and I can do, you both already have. Meanwhile, in Jan's room, Jan and Thomas are talking. What do you mean by that? I'm not putting your life at risk, and as Thomas headed to the door, but Jan ran and blocked him. Too bad, because that's not your call, Jan. This isn't some school game. This is a dangerous level. You said you killed Ricky, which I know you didn't. You notice how? I just know, okay? I'm telling you right now, if you leave this room, I will scream so loud and seeing that you're suspect, you won't get too far. Meanwhile, in the Eiffel Tower on top, Hannah came looking at the view of Paris. Till Karen came to where Hannah is. Hey stranger, come here often? So, how you feeling? And as Hannah turned and faced Karen, I don't know what to think. My heart goes out for that family, as whoever did this will be found. After which, I will see to it that they never see daylight again. Meanwhile, in the outskirts of London, England, inside the Dryden Park Academy in Joshua's room, Joshua's lying in bed thinking. And as he has a flashback of him and Taylor talking, look, I get that you have every right to be angry with me after what I did. I really don't want to hear this right now. You need to get out. I just want another chance of you. I told you, my life was on the line. That may be, but you have a choice. Clearly forced or not. You chose to sleep with Oliver, did you not? Yeah, I did, then we're done. And as the flashback ends, with someone knocking on the door. And as Joshua got up and head and arrived at the door and got it. And it's Taylor. Meanwhile, in the hallway, Lucy, Eric, and the boy are talking. Tobias, you certain of this? Look, my parents are detectives back home and I hear all. He's not wrong. A killer always slips when he least expects. Anyways, I'm just letting you lot know. And it's Tobias' turn and walk away. And as Lucy turned and faced Eric, you mind we go outside? Sure. And as he turned and head down the hall. Just as Miles came out of the storage room, having heard all that's happened. I wonder what you two lot are up to. Meanwhile, in Miss Drake's classroom, Cindy, Phoebe, Matt, Aaron, Brody, and Julian are talking. I'm surprised Miss Hartley got back so soon. Yeah, I'm certain your mom just want to keep an eye out. He's right. Speaking of which, didn't your family miss you? They do, for the matter. Unbeknownst to them, Oliver Duck sitting in the back got up and turned and went and left the classroom. Meanwhile, in Wilma's room, Wilma's lying in bed till Olivia came in and knocked on Wilma's door. And as Wilma sat up, just as Olivia came in. Thanks for agreeing to come. We're best mates, aren't we? And as Olivia went and sat in the bed next to Wilma. Of course we are. Aren't we? Meanwhile, outside the Dryden Park Academy in the courtyard, Lucy and Eric came out talking. And as they faced each other, how are you? I really don't want to be here, trust me. I know the feeling, but we have to. Do you really think that's gonna stop that feeling from finding us? Even so, we're fighting with everything we have. Also, we're gonna look after younger ones. Speaking of which, your little sister came today. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons to why my parents insist I come back. I have a strong hunch that danger is coming for us. You really believe that? Come on. I may be 14, but I'm not naive at all. And something tells me deep down, you know what I'm talking about is true. Okay, say I buy into this. What possible threat that we even have to worry about? Something that's about to change everything. Meanwhile, in the woods, not too far where Lucy and Eric is, something is watching them. Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Caroline and Denise are talking, and as Denise sat down, I have a lot on my mind. You don't fool me, Caroline. Something is clearly bothering you. You know what? You're right. There's a lot that's about to go down. What do you mean by that? I think I said too much. Caroline, it's me, your best mate since grade school. So, tell me. It's our junior year of high school, and soon, we're about to step into the real world as we know it. You mean after college year? Look, don't stress out about that. Everything's bound to work itself out in the end. You seem really certain of it. That's because I am. So don't you worry about it at all. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Rich Manor in Bradley's office, Howard and Roxanne are talking. Tell me, how long this has been going on? I tried to hide this from my husband, and he sent a mess. I think you should tell him. Jack and I have briefed a while for Zach, and to bring this up, just look. I know this has to do with what happened on the news. It just triggers a memory, one I yet to forget. Jack needs to know, so he can support you through this. Remember, you have your other kids, and you don't want to. I know, and you're right. I know what I have to do. Meanwhile, in Paris, France, at the Good Charm International Hotel in Karen and Bradley's suite room, Vince and Bradley are talking. Lucy wants to go to public school and lost Sandra's dad. I know the idea seems crazy. You damn right it does sound crazy. Did you put that idea in her head because what we did to you? Well, no, I would never do that. Besides, she and Eric figured out on their own. Well, I'm gonna have to talk with Ryan about this. Look, I didn't say this to be a grass, okay? I just want what's the best for my sister. I see. Well, you did the right thing by coming to me. What do you plan to do about it? Meanwhile, in Ryan and Hannah's room, Ryan and Steve are talking. Mrs. Drake told me that she informed Oliver about his brother's death. He must be pretty torn up about it. I'll know when I see him. What troubles me is, why here, out of all places? There's no telling what that family's thinking. All I know is, Thomas will answer what he did. Did Greg question you? Yeah, my wife and I were also there for our daughter's Mildred statement, and not to worry, Thomas will be found. And as someone knocked on the door, and as Ryan went and arrived and got the door, and it's Carol, who saw her husband in the background. I see that you and my husband are talking. I just want to say, Ryan, you don't have to, because I know how much your wife and you miss our son, but it doesn't make it okay for his killer to still be out there. Meanwhile, in Jan's room, Jan and Thomas are talking. Again, why are you doing this? Because you're my friend. And that's what I do. Plus, I have great detective skills, so you know. Really? Yeah. You little faith in me. I may be around 15, but I'm wiser than I look. First things first, we have to get out of here. How are we gonna do that without your parents' notice? Leave that to me. Does your parents know anyone can sport a riot? I do. I'll be back. And as Thomas head out, but Jan went and blocked her. Really? Yeah, I'm coming with you, so don't even argue me because it's quite pointless. Fine, let's go. And as they went, I left Jan's room. And as Thomas closed the door. Meanwhile, in the Eiffel Tower, Hannah and Karen are talking. I just had to get out of there and get some air and breath to catch up after what happened. I truly understand how you feel. I mean, I lost a child a long time ago, and to this day, it still hurts. I don't know what I'd do if I lose any of my kids. It's not gonna happen. Trust me. Thank you. I needed that. Carol and Steve are at a loss, which is why Rick let them have some privacy to help them prepare for Ricky's funeral. I just wonder why now. The Cullens have no morals when it comes to destroying people's lives. I'm certain my husband's wondering where I am, which is why he probably sent you. He just want to make certain you're alright, and I envy. Why don't we head back to the hotel? Meanwhile, in the outskirts of London, England, at the Dryden Park Academy in Joshua's room, Joshua's facing Taylor at the door. I had a feeling you would be here. How are you? Well, it's not every day that you hear that your cousin died. I'm sorry to hear that. For those reasons only, I think we should forget what happened between us and move forward for our lives. Wow, that's very mature of you. It's taken me some time, but I realize you parts I know. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and check and see how my younger sister's doing. I heard she just arrived. Okay, and as Taylor turned and walked away, just as Joshua came out of his room and closed the door and began walking down the hall. Meanwhile, in Wilma's room, Wilma and Olivia are talking. This is the first time I'm really been away from home. Oh wait, you don't have to worry. You're safe here. Also, you are my protective brothers who will look after you to the end. Thank you. And as Joshua arrived, unlocking the door, causing Olivia and Wilma turned and saw Joshua at the door. Hey, heard my little sister's gonna be here. And as Wilma got up and went towards Joshua, just as he got on his knees, just in time for him to hug her and pull back. How was it getting here? Super good. And as Joshua knows Olivia there, I see you came as well. And as Olivia got up and came to the arm. I insisted on my mom to let me come here. Well, rest assured the both of you lot. If you need anything, I got you. Meanwhile, in Mrs. Drake's classroom, Cindy, Phoebe, Matt, Aaron, Brody, and Julian are talking while the other students are also talking. How can we have school when the subject of the matter is Ricky's death? Speaking of which, and as Phoebe turned and noticed Oliver not there. Where did Oliver go? And as they all turned and noticed, he must have walked out. I better go find him. And as Phoebe got up, give him our best. Will do. And as Phoebe turned and went, I left the classroom while the others continued talking. Look, I'm sure you're all aware that my parents hired guards here, as it sounds like our parents go to extreme against the Cullens. That's just who they are. And as Mrs. Drake came in with a new student. Alright everybody, settle down and take your places right now. And as she arrived at her desk with the new student, and as she faced everyone along with her while the others contained themselves. And as Matt noticed there's a new person there. Looks like we have a new student here. Meanwhile, in the hallway by the dining room, Oliver came to it, just as Taylor came to where he is. And Oliver turned and saw her. You're following me or something wrong. I'm sorry what happened to your brother. You didn't kill him, so you have nothing to be sorry. I can't stand to see like this. There's nothing you can do. Maybe I can. And Phoebe came to the arm. Yep, for a bite to eat? I know you don't want to eat given to what's happened. It's fine. Please excuse us. And as Phoebe and Oliver turned and head to the dining room, just as Kyle came to where Taylor is, and she saw him. What's wrong? Meanwhile, while that's happening, Miles went past Kyle and Taylor who talking, and as he about to enter the dining room, Miles, and as Miles stopped and turned and saw Tina, who came to where he is. Miss Hartley, how can I help you? We need to have a little chat on where you've been lately. I don't answer to you at all. Then perhaps you could answer to the deputy head, Miss Drake, on your whereabouts since New Year's Eve. Meanwhile, outside the Dryden Park Academy, Lucy and Eric are talking. Dangerous forces. Look, I know this sounds strange and dodgy and weird. It's not weird. All I'm saying is, the younger ones are bound to figure out Vicky was killed. I think they already know, since everything around her spreads like wildfire. Okay, we just need to be on guard. We will. I just hope Mary and Emily are doing well where they are. I get that. You and Josh want to keep your sisters safe. Emily, Mary, and Wilma are the only sisters I got. And while I may not be able to look after Emily and Mary, at least I have Wilma. And speaking of which, I gotta see how she's doing before the day's over. And just so you know, whatever force is out there, I will protect you. In fact, I gave your parents my word. Thank you. And as Lucy and Eric begin hugging each other, and as Eric hold her, unaware that something's lurking in the woods not too far from where they are, it's still watching them. Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Caroline and Denise are talking. I am so grateful to have you as my best friend. Same here, which is why you need to get out there in the dating world. Yeah, I would love to, but I already got a lot going in my mind, which is, I haven't dated and I don't want to put anyone I love in danger. How can that be when he protects you to the end? Come on, I'm gonna help find you somebody if it's the last thing I do. Trust me, you're gonna thank me for this. Okay, and as Caroline and Denise got up and went and left the promenade. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Witch Matter in Bradley's office, Howard and Roxanne are talking. You mind if I use the phone? Go ahead. And as Roxanne went and got Bradley's home phone and dialed her husband Jack's number. Hey you. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Where are you? Oh. No, it's fine. Why don't I meet you there, say in 10? Okay. Alright, and as Roxanne hung up. Feeling better? Yeah, I am. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just tell him what you just told me. I will. And as Roxanne went and left the office. Meanwhile, in Paris, France, at the Good Charm International Hotel in Karen and Bradley's suite room, Vince and Bradley are talking. Dad, all you should know is, it will be handled. Handled? What does it even mean? Like I said before. Oh, Dad, I'm not a little kid anymore. I can see that. Your mother and I need to decide what to do next. I get it, Dad. Clearly the Collins are dangerous than we know, but we can't live our lives forever in fear. It has nothing to do with fear. It's about keeping you lots safe. Okay, I'll see you when you get back to Los Angeles. And as Vince turned and head out, Vince and as Vince stopped and turned and faced his dad. Thank you. And as Vince turned and went and opened the door, just as Karen's about to open it and as she saw her son there. Vince, I thought you and Isabella were halfway to the airport. I am. I just want to say goodbye. And as Vince went and hugged his mom and pulled back. I'll see you back at home, Mom. And as Vince went and left, and as Karen closed the door, and as she turned and faced Bradley, who came to where she is. We need to talk. Meanwhile, in Ryan and Hannah's room, Ryan's finished packing his suitcase. Just as Hannah came in and closed the door, and Ryan saw her. Sorry it took so long. I just need some air. It's fine. I called Eric and he's already back at school. Good. And as Hannah came to where Ryan is, it will give us a chance to see them, especially since we're having a funeral there before we head back home. And as Ryan went and hugged his wife, and as he held her, I am so grateful to you in my life. And as they pull away and face each other, I never want to take that for granted at all. I feel the same way. Meanwhile, in Carol and Steve's room, Carol came in and saw everything that's packed, just as Steve came in the bathroom, just as Carol closed the door. And as Steve came to where Carol is. You sure you want to do this? Yeah. I can't even bear to imagine what Roxanne or Jack are going through losing their child. It really hurts, I know, but Ricky wouldn't want us to see us like this. You're right. We have to be strong for him and the rest of our family for the matter. Ricky was a legacy at Dryden Park Academy, so I think it'd be appropriate to have the funeral there before Steve hugged his wife. And as he hold her, we're gonna get through this, you and I. Meanwhile, outside, a block away from the Good Trump International Hotel, Jan and Thomas got into the limousine. And as Thomas closed the door, let's get in the limousine while they're talking. Your family sure works fast. Yeah, they do. Now, for the next phase. We have to get out of the country before my parents discover that we're gone. I'm just glad we didn't run into Rachel, Gwen, or Sean for the matter. Before we go, just remember, if we get caught, just say that I kidnapped you. Why would I do that? Because I don't want you in trouble at all. So, are we in agreement? Fine. And as the front window came down, just as the driver looked at Jan and Thomas. Where to, sir? Take us to this address. And as Thomas gave the driver the paper, and as he rolled the window back up, and as Thomas looked at Jan and she looked at him, are you ready for this? You know there's no turning back. Yeah, I am. Soon, the limousine took off down the road. Meanwhile, in the outskirts of London, England, at the Dryden Park Academy in Wilma's room, Wilma, Olivia, and Joshua are talking. Thank you, Joshua. Well, I gotta go to class, but I'll see you a lot later. And as Joshua got up and went and left the room, and as Wilma and Olivia continued talking. Okay, since this is your first official day, you have to do orientation. Who teaches that? Mrs. Drake. Luckily, she's teaching the third years at the moment, but she'll be teaching the class around 11 a.m., which gives us plenty of time to have some break. Meanwhile, in the hallway, Taylor and Kyle are talking. You always have a knack of showing up whenever I need you. Well, that's the kind of mate I am. Don't be daft. You know exactly what I mean. So thank you for also agreeing to pose as my boyfriend. So not to be this guy, but yes, Joshua and Oliver wants nothing to do with me, and I don't blame him for what I put them through, even though I was blackmailed to do so in the first place. You mean by please don't say their name. I'm not afraid of this Cullen family you speak of. You should be, considering what happened recently with Ricky. Come on. You seriously don't think they're responsible for his death? Like I said before, you have no idea what they're really like. Let me reassure you with this. And as Kyle and Taylor begin kissing each other. Soon, unbeknownst to them, in a nearby corner, a bow arrow appeared, aiming directly towards Taylor, who's in a kiss with Kyle. Meanwhile, by the entrance of the dining room, Tina and Miles are talking. How did you know? I know all, buddy. Now, you can explain your whereabouts before dinner in my office today. Okay. Miles, you even think about not showing up at all? You will be on restriction for 6 months. Consider that your first and last warning. That's the rest of the term. Then you know where you be, now would you? Excuse me. And as Tina turned and walked away. Meanwhile, in the dining room, Phoebe and Oliver are talking. I should have went to that New Year's party. There's nothing you could have done even if you went to prevent that. My brother loved Gwen a lot. Even though he got her to come here on the scholarship basics, Ricky was sure a legend at the school, playing cricket, just about anything you can think of, which is why he will never be forgotten here. Thank you. We're family. We stick together to the end like times like this. And as the bell rings. Damn, I almost forgot the term's about to start. You know, we're both late and Mrs. Drake is gonna kill us as we know it. Come on, let's go. And as they got up and got the stuff and head out of the dining room. Meanwhile, in Miss Drake's classroom, Miss Drake and the new student is facing the class. Good morning, class. And as everyone said, good morning, Miss Drake. Welcome back to the second half of the term this season. I hope you lot had a good holiday and came back looking forward to dive into some hard work. Now, before we begin, I'm certain you all noticed a new student before you. His name is Hunter Montgomery. I'm certain everyone will do everything in their power to make him feel welcome at Dryden Park. Is that understood? And as everyone said, yes, Miss Drake. Meanwhile, outside the Dryden Park Academy, Lucy and Eric are still in the hug. And as they pull away, I'm wondering how's Gwen doing all this? She's dealing with this the best way she can, just like all of us. Yeah, you think our parents let us go home with them? Well, we'll know when they get here. I am so glad we had this talk. I am too. And whatever danger forces out there, we'll beat it. I know we will. And as someone in the woods that been watching, Lucy and Eric made a noise. Did you hear that? No, I didn't. Look, you're overacting. It's probably a score or something. Yeah, maybe you're right. Meanwhile, in the woods, not too far where Lucy and Eric is, that same something that's been watching them glare a red evil eye